Sean's got your Mother's Day weekend forecast.
That's right. And a lot of fog on the coast. We've been talking about that. It's cool down our neck of the woods, but inland area is very warm. And there's the marine layer kind of playing cat and mouse in Santa Barbara. Of course, if you're down at the harbor, that is not the case. It is kind of socked in right there. And it looks like it's pretty low to the deck, so cutting down on the visibility. And really a really interesting day, very spring-like, so cool along the coastline. You go inland, though, and boy, that sunshine's doing its magic, and you can see the temperature is a big difference. So this is definitely a spring sort of heat wave going into summer. We see a lot of these where you get those big swings from the beaches to the inland areas, sometimes 30, 40, even 45 degree range. That not so much today, but close to 60 in many areas. Excuse me, close to 30 degree range in many areas. Looking across the country, the West Coast, big heat wave. Also, unfortunately, across the deep south, they're starting to really warm up, and that's bringing in another threat, or at least feeding into another threat for some severe weather. In fact, we're already getting reports in Texas as we speak. A lot of this is going to run up into the middle of the country, as you can see right here. The flashing yellow boxes, that means severe thunder occurring right now. If they turn red, it means they start to actually spot some tornadoes on the ground. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but there is definitely that chance that that may end up being the case. And again, a big area of high pressure well to our north, interesting, and inland is giving a strong easterly flow across Oregon and Washington, and even up into Canada. They're getting a lot of will be basically sinking air. It's subsistence or subsiding, and that basically heats up the atmosphere. Big heat wave up there, and a lot of heat advisories. Now for us, we're sort of to the south of that. We are getting the heat inland, but we're not getting a whole lot of it, at least nothing too extreme. And along the beaches, we kind of hold in that marine layer. You can see that kind of light colored cloud cover right there. Even San Francisco today kind of lost some marine layer, and they got into the low 80s. For us, though, we're still holding on along the coastline, so we stay mild. Inland areas stay very hot. Another cutoff low, though, is to our southeast, almost like a monsoon situation, bringing up some easterly moisture, as you can see right there, and even some thunder and lightning. Some of that could get close to Southern California. In fact, we'll go ahead and look at the futurecast right here. And as I put it into motion, fairly quiet and benign. You're just kind of watching the marine layer out in the ocean. But then watch to our southeast right here. Went ahead and stopped it on a couple of days toward, say, Tuesday. Seeing that moisture getting close to us. Now, will it bring in any rain to us? The answer is probably not. There is a slight chance. Again, something could get into extreme Southern California, but it looks like right now a lot of it will stay out of our area. As you can see, really just Cuyama and I think Fraser Park will show up once we get to Tuesday right here. Slight bit of rain chances, and there they are, fractional amounts, and that actually changed over the last 3 hours. It was 0.06 for Fraser Park, 0.03 for Cuyama, and now the computer is even pulling back on that. So we'll focus on the lower levels, which of course is marine layer for Mother's Day. Definitely along the beaches. As we head into the inland areas, though, you should have plenty of sunshine and another warm day, but it looks like we might actually cool the inland areas down a bit from today, so it might actually go from too warm to possibly being just about perfect for the inland areas. The beaches, though, will again more than likely excuse me, stay on that cool to mild side. And you can see the computer is kind of playing with some warm weather along the central coast. Probably won't get into the low 80s on the coastal plains, more like 60s and maybe 70s as we head toward Monday. Look at that. We cool down inland areas again. And then as we head toward the beaches, you kind of see just more or less a status quo. Day-to-day changes, not very much. 60s to around 70 degrees for the Santa Barbara South Coast. Up around Point Conception, we'll go into the 70s and 80s for inland areas. Maybe even a few 90s will pop up for those warm, toastiest areas. But again, some cooler air might funnel in to areas of Paso Robles and Atascadero, so you might end up being right around 80 degrees. Ojai, same story there. So really beautiful. Again, though, the beaches, bring a sweater because it probably will be a little on the cool side. Surf out of the south and northwest right now on the small side, but still some waves. And there's your 7-day forecast as we go through the week. Changes do come by the middle of the week. We see some more warm weather and maybe even a little stronger onshore flow with some morning drizzle for the beaches, but the inland area is getting pretty toasty again and staying like that all the way into next weekend. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.